Hey folks, pay attention. The Crypto Eclipse here. Just wanted to bring you something to think about, more or less. All right. And I just saw on someone's channel and watching JD Vance. Vance talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, and the U.S. government needs to own 5% of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that. And then I look up on I look it up, and Bitcoin is like a peer-to-peer, strictly peer-to-peer payment structuring. That's why it takes like an hour to transact on Bitcoin. There's fees, this, that, the other thing. It's not meant for global usage. I don't know why JD Vance is wanting to promote a Bitcoin so bad in the U.S. government and need the U.S. government to own 5% of Bitcoin. Is it because it's the one coin that rules them all, and he wants to have, America should have at least 5% interest in the one coin that rules them all? And so maybe Bitcoin's being positioned for something greater than this. But look, a lot of transactions can be made on Bitcoin that are not on any other market, any other transaction. Bitcoin, you can move a lot of money right now on Bitcoin. So is Bitcoin going to go anywhere? Not if the elites don't want it. If they want to transact on a specific currency, or if they want to have a currency that's a strictly peer-to-peer, and it can move a lot, like more than a universal monetary unit amount. Like we're talking Bitcoin, like hundreds of thousands, who knows, millions maybe, right? How much does Bitcoin need to be for order them? It's this. But think of it like this too, and this is where it gets dark. It's like the U.S. dollar. The Fed Reserve just kept printing U.S. dollars with interest. So they're printing debt. So what is the U.S. dollar based on right now but debt? People owe the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is printed being owed. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what big money's been doing with the U.S. dollar. Deflationary? Well, you print something that you owe on. I'm not sure how deflationary that is unless you can't pay it back, or it'll never get paid back. Think about that, right? Well, what about Bitcoin? A bunch of USDT is minted out of nowhere, not backed by USDC, not backed by the dollar, not backed by the actual dollar. They say it is, but it's not. Can't pass an audit. When an auditor went in to audit USDT, they're like, yeah, we have your auditor come on in, take an audit, nowhere. And they stopped it mid-audit and said, you're looking a little too closely here, man. You're just supposed to give a little, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're getting too in depth. You're looking too close to it. We're going to need to stop the audit. Stop. This is not, no. And now they can't pass it on. Now until they can't become MiCA compliant, or compliant. The USDT could take a big old doopity poopity whoopity. And if it does, because it's not backed by anything, and so much USDT was printed to buy Bitcoin to use as its liquidity, like Bitcoin's backed by what? Same thing the US dollar was backed by? Unexistent gold that wasn't there. Black swan event, white swan event, gray swan event. What do you want to call it? That's not a white swan. It'd be a gray swan. Read between the lines. This is the Crypto Eclipse, just giving you guys some perspective on kind of what's going on. This is 3 minutes longer than I wanted to throw this out there for, so I'm probably not going to get a lot of views on it, but it doesn't matter. If you made it this far, respect. You know what I'm talking about. Be careful. Watch for a big, huge catalyst that that could be it. USDT could be a catalyst to the crypto market. Everyone keeps talking about Black Swan event. There it is, folks. There it is. Don't look anymore. Watch that. Fuck.